I bootstrapped my previous business to multiple six figures in revenue, but I stepped away and pivoted it because it was taking over my life. I was so anxious all the time. I was overwhelmed, stressed, and constantly burning out. And as I was growing that business, I invested in a lot of scale your business courses, programs, and mentors. And they took a very grow at all costs approach where they would give you strategies, but it meant that you were on hustle mode all the time. There's a time and place for that because I would implement those strategies, get some results, but inevitably I couldn't keep it up because it would leave me so burnt out and drained. Fast forward, I now live abroad in London, love it. I have fully adopted the work to live mentality versus the live to work mentality that I find the US and Canada have. Since pivoting my business with this 2.0 version of my business, I've really tried to sustainably grow it and scale it. And so I've taken what I've learned in my last business and what's worked for me. I've now put it through this lens of being more sustainable for me and really revolving my business around my life instead of revolving my life around my business, which is what I was doing before. And so these are some things I'm doing now in order to sustainably get sales and scale my business. And I wanted to share some of them with you in the hopes that I can help you too. The first thing I did when I pivoted my business was redefine what success meant to me, because success in media as well as social media looks very much the same, where it's like bigger, better, more, faster, all these things. And that may not be what you want. Your version of success might simply be having a business that supports your lifestyle. You don't have to worry about it. It's stable income and you have enough time to spend with your loved ones. Maybe you want to start a family, or maybe you just want to travel. Like, it really looks different for everybody. And I think it's so harmful for everyone to have that one track mind of what success looks like. And then every other form of success is not as good or not as prestigious or whatever. Like, I really think we need to redefine our relationship with success and get quiet and figure out what it means to us. And so I did that. I got really clear on exactly what my financial goals were. It wasn't just because I wanted more, or it's because I want to make multiple six figures or whatever. I got really, really clear on what I actually need and what I would prioritize more. Maybe I don't actually want to reach $1 million because I prioritize my well-being and my sanity, and I want to live my best life. So I think that's really important. And if you haven't done this exercise before, I have a free program called Your Success Roadmap. And in that program, I walk you through how you can redefine success on your own terms, figure out exactly how much money you need to sustain your lifestyle and what you want in life, as well as your capacity for work. So how much time you actually have to work while still being able to take care of yourself. You're sleeping enough, you are exercising, you are making time to make yourself food, like all this stuff. You can check it out. The link will be down below, but it's also at selinaho.com/roadmap. So highly recommend you take that program if you haven't already to redefine success. That was such a helpful first thing I did when I pivoted my business. Next is setting the intention to do this all sustainably. This is so important because in media and social media and in a lot of the courses, programs, and mentors that you will invest in, they will really try to push this grow at all costs mentality where they will tell you what's worked for them, but a lot of the times it may not work for you because you may not have the same amount of infrastructure they do. Maybe they have team members that can help, or you may not have the same amount of capacity. Like, maybe they don't have a family yet, so they're able to work all the time, right? So it's really, really different and nuanced. And so you need to set the intentionality to do it sustainably for you. And no one is going to have that knowledge of what that looks like except for you. So you need to set that intention and be really strict about it. The next thing that's really important is being strategic about your products and services. I always say if you don't have a good product or a service, you don't have a business. So it's really important you get quiet, figure out who's your ideal target customer, and then figure out what their problems and pain points are, because you want to have a product or a service that solves that problem and pain point so that people see value in it, they get an amazing transformation, and then they are able to have really great results that you can showcase to get more clients. And also, they're so excited about these results that they're sharing it with their friends, family members, people in their network. And so you get that word of mouth. So product is really, really important. The other thing as well is you want to be strategic around playing to your strengths. I talk about this in my Build a Sustaining Business program, which is another free program that you can check out if you haven't already. But you really don't want to build a business based off of your weaknesses, because then you're going to be in catch-up mode, because your weaknesses are likely someone else's strengths. And if their business is based on their strengths, it's just going to be so much smoother sailing for them. And you're going to be catching up. You're going to have to learn things. You're going to have to force yourself to be better at something. Whereas if you pick something you're good at to begin with, you are just set up for success. So really be strategic here when it comes to your products and services. You want to ideally find something that you're really good at. It's your zone of genius, it's your superpower, and it's also a problem and a pain point or a challenge that your ideal customer faces, so that if you picture a Venn diagram, your products and services are in the middle where it overlaps between the two of what your superpower is and then also what your ideal customer is trying to look to gain in terms of a transformation or a result. The other thing I wish I knew in my previous version of my business that I know now and I apply now is the fact that sales strategies are not one size fits all. I think when you invest in courses and programs and mentors, they will teach you what's worked for them and then they kind of expect you to copy it. And I think in this space now, people are more flexible and they trust you to do what's best for your business. But sometimes too, there is that pressure because you've invested your time and your money in this program. So you do want to try what's worked for other people and do it for your business. But a lot of the times, like I mentioned, these courses, programs, and mentors are adopting a grow at all cost mentality. And so maybe they're forcing you to do sales calls because that's what's worked for them. But maybe you have no time for sales calls because you're stuck in client work all day. Plus you're a mom or whatever it is. So you need to really think strategically and logically about if this is even viable for you. And then taking a step back and realizing what the strategy is and seeing if you can actually apply the strategy. And maybe it looks a little bit different for your business, but taking that instead of blindly copying and pasting and everything. So as an example, maybe the strategy behind the sales calls is being able to sharpen your sales skills so that you're able to get feedback and understand the objections from customers and also get closer from them. Really think about what the strategy is instead of just blindly copying what worked for other people and then forcing yourself to do it for you. Because take it from me, I have previously invested in a program where the mentor was really promoting webinars or masterclasses. And I do think webinars and masterclasses are a good sales vehicle. However, they are really draining and exhausting to execute. If you've done one before, you know. I did it for so long and I'd forced myself to do it, even though it drained me so much. And also, it would only allow me to sell at certain stages because folks would have to wait for the next masterclass and stuff. And so it just wasn't working for me and it wasn't very sustainable for me. And so in this 2.0 version of my business, I have now taken strategies from that webinar practice and implemented it into my own business in a way where it feels good for me time-wise, and also from an energy perspective, I can manage it better. So it's really around implementing sustainable sales practices that will work for you. And then of course, you also want to set up your sales funnel in an optimized manner. You want to make sure it's working for you and not against you. So you really want to make sure you have your traffic dialed in, your nurturing dialed in, and then your conversion dialed in. As you're watching this YouTube video, if you want to go deeper and actually build out your sustainable sales strategy, build out your sustainable and optimized sales funnel, then I would love you to check out my new private podcast called Sustain Your Success, where I go really deep and in depth and overview my sustainable growth and sales strategies because I really wanted to share my new sustainable growth and sales strategies I'm leveraging. You can check it out at the link down below or visit selinaho.com/SYS. I firmly believe that you can sustainably grow and scale your business in a way where it sustains your bank account, your lifestyle, and the planet. You can check out Sustain Your Success, again, my private podcast to get more details. And as always, if you have any questions, leave them down below and I'll get back to you.